Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and dogs. First thing I'm going to say is an apology. I'm sorry I've been away for so long. As you can see, this differs immensely to what I'm used to because I've relocated. The studio's been completely disassembled. I'm putting it back together now, making ends meet. Also, I was making a film for a client and that took a month to shoot. So as promised, I'm going to share with you a lot of the shots. There's one in particular that I want to show you, a Day4Night, which is really, really good. There's also a project that we've got coming as well. So I'm going to show you a few test shots to that. I'm going to guide you through what we do to make our films, and then I'm going to share the film with you as well. So with that being said, one extra thing. Thank you so much for everybody who's kept me subscribed. Thank you very much for anyone who's hung around and waited for me. And thank you to everyone who's going to watch this video and watch the next. I love you and I'm back. Peace.
Okay, so what we have here is a gimbal shot acting like a slider. We have a wall on the right hand side and the gimbal comes out to display a walkway in the middle and a building on the left hand side. So as you can see, the building on the left hand side has a light in the window and the light is spilling out into the floor of the walkway. But would it amaze you to know that this shot was actually taken in the daytime and that light spilling out onto the floor isn't actually there? So I'm going to go ahead and show you how I did that. Okay, so here's the shot. It's in log and it's got the gimbal coming out from behind the wall. So the cameraman wasn't actually, he was good, but this was kind of a tricky shot for him because of the height and the angle. But this is what it looks like. As you can see, it's not the most stable of gimbal shots, but that's the shot that we got. So the first thing I needed to do was to go ahead and stabilize it. So I used a planar tracker, stabilized it, and I got to quite a satisfactory stabilization. As you can see, it's quite good. Okay, so now that that's stabilized, the next thing I did was I needed to start grading it and changing it from daytime into nighttime. So the first thing is the color space transform and the color space transform. Okay, so next we did a white balance. Actually, we didn't. We put the dehancer on it to give us a nice starting point. Now, to make this into a nighttime shot, what I needed to do was bring down the exposure, and the moon has a sort of bluish hue to it. So I used the white balance to give it a little tiny bit of a blue kind of color. I used my customary highlights just to take the little edge off. If you can see down here, you can see what the highlight's doing. So I've took that off. So that is definitely passing for a nighttime shot. Add my obligatory sharpness. Love that. Okay, so as you can see, it's kind of passing for a nighttime shot now. So let's sell the effect. So I put a window here. Okay, so what I've done with that is I've masked out the window, put a little bit of softness on it, 0.6 inside, just to make it look okay, just to make it saleable, you know. So as you can see, on, off. Yeah, okay. So now that we've got the lights on the inside, what I then wanted to do was I wanted to give some kind of a spill out onto the floor. So I've gone to another node down here and I've masked the area, as you can see down here. Okay, so if I take that off, you can see what I've done. I've just basically put that on, added some bits and pieces here with the gain, with the color, and made this part of it lighter, and I've also faded it out slightly. So if I take that off, you're able to see what the fade has done. On, off. Okay, so now it looks like the window is spilling light into the floor. Obviously it has to coincide with reality as well, because if you had like this kind of a light up the wall here, then that wouldn't be physically possible, because where's that light coming from? It'd have to be coming from somewhere over here, which it's not. It's coming from this window. So we've got a light coming from here, so the light must be around here somewhere, shining down. So we've got that there. So we've also, the building is a little tiny bit sharp, so I just, creative sake, I just brought it down slightly as well. Okay, and there you have it. Day4Night. I'm actually quite proud of that. It's nice. Okay, so during the course of the film, I would like to illustrate some certain aspects of this lady's personality. We're going to do that by showing her mundane existence. For example, she goes to work, she's alone. She comes home to a condo, she's alone. She goes to eat, she's alone. So we have a shot here that's just showing how sort of alone and isolated that she is, sitting in a place where there's lots of activity going on around her, yet she is removed from said activity. And that shows her aloneness. Not that she's lonely, but her being alone. Okay, so here we have a side view tracking shot of our protagonist, a young, lovely looking woman walking from her car with a few household daily essentials towards the entrance of her condo. I've recorded this in log format, and we're just utilizing the light coming from the condo entrance. I haven't even prepared the scene. I haven't done any cinematography. I've merely chose where I'm going to film in relation to the light. So we have our lovely innocent woman walking towards the building. But you have to ask yourself a question. Is she innocent? Or could it be a case of maybe innocent, maybe sweet, but not half as good as rotten meat? Well, you're going to have to watch the film and see. So here's that shot, test shot, using the Pocket 4K with a speed booster and a 25mm lens, pretty much wide open and in log. So here she's walking, and we see someone innocently walking by, running up. Or are they innocent? This is the shot in Rec 709. Now look how cinematic that shot looks like just on its own, just in Rec 709. Now, here's the shot, how I'd like to grade it. Now, if you've been watching my videos before, I've explained to you what the green means. The green in the shadow means that there's some kind of sickness that's about to happen in the film. Green signifies a colossal beating, and what happens in this film? I wouldn't even classify it as a beating, it's way worse, which explains why there's a lot of green in the shadows. So, I think that turned out quite well. Lovely. Okay, people, thank you. That's what I've got for you for this week. I'll be starting to make the film next week, so I'm going to guide you through every single step, what we're going to do when we're filming it, the angles that we're going to take, obviously the editing and the colouring as well. So this is going to be quite exciting. Every time I go to a new place, or I get a new bit like a lens or a camera or a new place, I get really excited for the next film that's going to come, because every film has to be better than your last. I want you to remember that as well, and take that as a rule yourselves. Every single film that you do has to be better than the last one. Okay, so keep tuning in, keep watching, and the film will be available for you to see. I'll share it as soon as possible. Okay, thanks a lot, guys. Peace.